This is why I'm the best PokeTuber. Dittogate has finally paid off. It's been quite a few years since the last Dittogate shenanigans, the Pokemon Home update for Pokemon Sword and Shield, but also I dabbled with the Crown Tundra because everyone was just getting tons of legendary Pokemon, so I used Dittogate to end up with a Regidrago at some point. I had like a Ditto in the GTS that's just been chilling for the last couple of years, and for some reason it's a shiny Regidrago. Only has 3 max IVs and it doesn't look hacked, so that's kind of weird. But this Urshifu is a good gauge of how mentally ill my haters are after all these years. They are still trying to come at me. So you can't see the name of this Urshifu because putting portrait mode into a landscape video looks pretty awful, so I have to like crop it and try to scale it up a little bit. But yeah. I mean, it's already been, like, well-known and established that I have the most deranged haters in all of Pokemon and top tier when it comes to YouTube. But really, again, just, like, stalking Dittogate for years to then give me a bricked Urshifu. This thing has max special attack and then all max IVs except for attack. My haters are objectively so worthless that even though it takes no time to hack Pokemon, they will actually spend the time to hack this abomination because I did something to offend them somehow. But in the beginning of the video, I said that Dittogate is finally paying off, and this is where it's all coming together because I am never touching the trash heap that is Pokemon Legends again, but there's also a few exclusives that I want to use competitively, or at least I want to use them in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Hisui and Avalugg looking really strong. This just seems pretty legit. Also, just kind of going through the stats, has the Hisuian like data from it, so that's kind of interesting. And then Ursaluna, just a busted, turbo broken, giga strong Pokemon. Pokemon Go Ursaluna. So at least there's actually like other ways of getting these Pokemon that aren't through Pokemon Legends, but either way, I'm not like playing Pokemon Go to farm all these legendary Pokemon and all these Pokemon Legends Pokemon. So why not just trade like one of the dozen Giratina I ended up with from Dittogate? And of course, Basculegion. Going to pick up a couple of these because I have some really crazy moveset ideas for the 100% win rate Pokemon team. And then Cleavor Fury Cutter, I think is actually going to be like very, very powerful. So we're going to see how all of that ends up playing out. I also messed up on my first Basculegion in the GTS. I didn't specify the form, so they just gave me a female one. I mean, I guess if you're just going to yoink it for a legendary like that, you might as well get away with it because those things have no value. And then I also did a lot of Ultra Beast catching back in Generation 7, stockpiled a few of those, and I've been like just randomly trading off a spare Xurkitree or Pheromosa for a legendary Pokemon or something I want. So as you can see, like in the GTS, trading a Pheromosa for my backup Basculegion, got a couple of like extra strats for that, and overall, yeah, all the work I've put into the game really working out. And I think that's like just really cool how it shows. If hacking wasn't such a huge problem in Pokemon, there was a legitimate Pokemon economy to where if you like get creative with trades or get creative with like Pokemon acquisition and how you're trying to trade things out, then you could actually end up with a lot of like desirable Pokemon. I just have, you know, a lot of Pokemon Go legendaries, so that's also kind of devalue-y, but hey, people go rabid for their legendary Pokemon, so even if I put up like a worthless Pokemon Go legendary, I can still kind of end up with almost anything I want. I've been using that from time to time, so we have like all these extra spares and stuff when it comes to just trades that I want for Pokemon Home. And I wanted to put this up here showing like some of the legendary Pokemon that I've had. Pokemon Go Mewtwo, we got some Lugia, some legendary birds, a Kyogre. Unfortunately, not all of these trade with the new update. We don't have Solgaleo, Lunala, Reshiram, Zekrom, and a few other legendaries. The Regis aren't in, Suicune not in as well, even though we have Walking Wake and Iron Leaves. So those, like the Paradox Pokemon not having their legendaries being introduced to Pokemon Home, kind of weird. And who knows what this is going to mean for future regulations and rule sets. Update, I made this video before the announcement of Rule Set D, which is pretty much just letting every Pokemon except for traditionally restricted legendaries, so box legendaries not allowed, mythical Pokemon, as well as Walking Wake and Iron Leaves. But Cresselia, Forces of Nature, Regieleki, all of those Pokemon suddenly allowed to be played. Those thoughts, separate video. It's because it's June, but we're still going to be on Rule Set C until July. Now it seems like that was kind of a decent idea to kind of make it to where in case there was something with Pokemon Home not coming out by June or a little too late into May, then at least we got time for it, but nothing's kind of mixing up competitively. So I guess that means trying it out in the free battle spot, but we should at least be able to use like the starter Pokemon and the raid event Pokemon that have been made available so much, at least for like May, June, keep it a little interesting, but that never happened. So hopefully summer, like if we actually get a good Pokemon Presents, some good announcements, and then like something interesting going on with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, summer's playable, fall goes into the DLC, then we also have more DLC, legendary Pokemon, stuff like that, and we're going to see what happens for the future. So it's kind of coming together, but I think June is going to kind of just not have anything really going on. But all the Pokemon Home stuff is cool that it worked out, so now let's bring these bad boys over into Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. So yeah, I also like that it shows like this is a Pokemon Go Pokemon. It's like, huh, we did just like trade all those Giratina for like a Go Cleavor, a Go Ursaluna, and then picked up a few Basculegions as well. And Avalugg, you guys gotta watch those movesets for the Hisuian Pokemon, because some of them have like some crazy stuff going on. Again, the Basculegion, Last Respects, perfect win rate team. But I think Avalugg is also going to be a terrifyingly, just devastatingly powerful Pokemon. So I look forward to using that at some point. Hopefully Rule Set D just has the Legends Pokemon allowed. And then just kind of going through Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, that's also kind of weird because don't really have too much to show for it. I've got some of the starters, some legendary Pokemon, and then just mostly competitive Pokemon I already used in Pokemon Sword and Shield that I'm still using in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. It's actually not a lot of Pokemon usable in the decks, and then like a lot of just the Generation 9 power creep making it really weird. And then legendary Pokemon are going to be coming in, so that's awkward. Then we do have the Crown Tundra legendary, so like Spectreer's busted, Regieleki's busted. My Regidrago is spicy, which is why I did the Dittogate thing earlier to get like another Regidrago, because I've got like Light Screen, Reflect, Rest Protect, Regidrago just to like infinity set up and then just like have a double durability Pokemon team, which sounds really cool. And that Regidrago actually worked and popped off in Generation 8, so that's kind of crazy. So we're going to see what happens with that, or if I try to do like a wall-breaking Regidrago or something. Then we got a Dynamax Rotom that doesn't Dynamax anymore, an old Mega Slowbro, and then a Rillaboom that doesn't Grassy Glide, and my million Chansey and Blissey movesets that I've already remade for this generation. So Pokemon Home kind of coming in late. And then even after all of these updates and stuff, not really too much to kind of show for it. It is neat seeing the legendary Pokemon and trying to like break it down, like a little bit of the home adventures that I have an Articuno from Pokemon Let's Go. But that also goes back into like all the work I've put in. Put in the extra work to get the Ultra Beast, a little bit of Dittogate, shiny hunting and stuff, so I can just trade for whatever Pokemon I want if there was like a legitimate Pokemon economy. But I did multiple videos breaking down like just farming legendary birds in the sky and kind of the way of optimizing that. I got a couple of extra like Articuno and Zapdos from it. So those are floating around somewhere. We got one in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet now. Kind of checking out the models of some Pokemon, looking kind of interesting. We have Eternatus looking pretty crazy, Zacian, Zamazenta. And I think that's kind of where we're at for all of like this cool stuff. So I mean, Dittogate worked. I've got some of my Legends Arceus Pokemon. Hopefully it all comes together. Hopefully it all makes sense and we can get some like interesting battles. The Pokemon Home update, pretty underwhelming though. It's just kind of like weird when you bounce your Pokemon around and then realize, yeah, not really too much going on with this kind of stuff. And then Pokemon's still kind of dead right now, so hopefully we get some news. Hopefully it all comes together and makes more sense in the future. But there we go, guys. Hope you all enjoy the video. Hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.